On Monday, the Toombs County Bulldog football team started their second full week of practice and their fourth day in pads by emphasizing the throwing game. And two of the receivers going out to catch the ball were two big targets, including Brandon Dowd, who likes playing that position because
it gives me a chance to run a whole lot more and get another touchdown.
What's the biggest adjustment you've had to make to becoming an offensive player?
My running.
Able to get open?
Yes, sir. I'm able to get open wherever I can. Whenever they tell me to go up for a pass, I am.
The other big target for the Bulldog quarterbacks was Eric Hester.
It's fun. It's a little hard, but I got to push through it. Got to get in shape, run them routes right. But I like it. It's great.
How were you catching them?
I dropped a few, but I caught a few. I didn't do too bad, but I can do better.
How's your work on the defensive line gone so far?
I think I've done pretty great to get my technique right and do what the coaches tell me.
One of the quarterbacks who was throwing to the big targets is a big guy himself, sophomore Ben Brantley.
Barney, we've been working in group, and we've been looking pretty good, actually.
How about you?
I've been working all summer at quarterback, and my arm has gotten a lot better.
Have you changed your delivery?
I mean, I've been playing baseball all summer, and that's a whole different thing, but not really. I mean, you just getting stronger.
The Dogs had a visitor at practice on Monday. Rick Snow from WTOC Channel 11 in Savannah was in town, and he talked to some of the Bulldogs, like Gary Terrell.
I told him that we got to be aggressive this season to put W's on the board.
Another Bulldog senior who did a television interview was senior Tamon Hampton.
He asked me what kind of teams was looking at me for college and stuff like that.
What's the answer to that question?
I told him Clemson, North Carolina, and stuff like that.
Did he ask you any Bulldog questions?
Yes, sir. He was like, what position I play and stuff like that. I told him linebacker, and he said, as far as the college level, which position I'll play, and I told him defensive end and stuff like, because they want me rushing off the edge and stuff like that.
Will you go back later today and watch yourself on television?
Yes, sir.
Is that exciting?
Yeah, kind of, but I'm used to it.
The final Bulldog senior who got to talk to the TV man was Mark Terrell. Mark, did all your radio interviews prepare you for the pressure of television?
A little bit.
What did he ask you?
He asked me my position and how his practice going, and did I think it was better this year.
And what'd you answer?
I told him, I play running back, cornerback, and I told him we was aggressive, and we should have a good season this year.
Will you go back later today and watch yourself on television?
Yes, sir.
You ever seen yourself on television?
Yes, sir.
What's that like?
It's all right.
Bulldog head coach Shane Williamson also did a TV interview and one for Y101, talking about how the Bulldogs have done in their first 4 days in pads.
I felt like we've done a good job with the pads. Last Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday was really good. We came out and got physical with board drills, and we had some scrimmage time. We're still in a lot of teaching right now, and, we're at Monday, coming off a weekend right now, and we started dragging a little bit, but we worked our way through it, and I feel like we continued where we left off last week, which I thought was a great week. I thought our attitude was right. Right now it's going to be real tough for our seniors. This is critical for them to step up and lead. You don't want monotony to start setting in. We're back in football. It's going to be muggy a little bit, but the good Lord's blessed us with pretty good weather right now. So I'm excited. I feel like we're where we need to be. We're not ready to play a game yet by any means, but we're getting better. They're taking coaching, and that's what we're doing.
One of the areas the Toombs County Bulldogs want to improve on this football season is in their defensive secondary, and that's why they've been spending a lot of time working with that group. Nathaniel Baker is a sophomore corner, and he talks about what the Bulldog DBs were doing on Tuesday.
Well, we was up there doing defensive fundamental, trying to break up the routes and stuff like that.
Did you make some good plays?
Yeah, some.
What was the toughest matchup for you as far as the other receiver?
I say Tamon is.
Yeah, Tamon Hampton at 6'3" is a tough matchup. Junior corner Chris Mobley had several battles with Tamon, and although Tamon won a couple, Chris had a good day picking off 3 passes.
Yes, sir. I'm getting a lot faster. Got more agility guys running routes and helping us get better.
Seemed to be very aggressive and even got 3 picks that I counted.
Yes, sir. Coach teaches me to be more aggressive. I'm getting a lot better at that.
And I guess the one matchup that was tough was the one against Tamon. You guys seem to have something going there.
Yes, sir. Tamon, he's a big challenge for me, and I think it's going to pay off a lot in the game.
Looked like you made a play. I guess you deflected one and it came back to him?
Yes, sir. He's a pretty good athlete, and I got to pat the ball down instead of hit it up in the air.
How are the other guys doing back there with you in the defensive secondary?
Everybody looking a lot better than last year, in the past couple of years, and I think it's going to pay off a lot and have a bunch of picks this year.
That's one thing for sure. You guys work on this a lot, don't you, the DBs?
Yes, sir. We work on it a lot. Coach David and Coach Fitz help us out with that.
You never know on a Friday night when you start playing football games for real, when you might encounter a terrible night to play football. one in which it rains way too much and the field gets way too wet. That happened to the Bulldogs last year on September the 23rd when they played host to McIntosh County Academy. Do you remember?
The snap is low. The up back catches the ball. It's picked up by Kilo Bagley. He's going to run to the 35, to the 30. He's slogging through the mud, driving through the rain, and he's into the end zone with a Bulldog touchdown as one Bulldog slides in the water to celebrate.
Despite that special teams touchdown, the Bulldogs lost that game on that wet field 14-8. That's why head coach Shane Williamson says when you have a chance to practice in the rain, you better take advantage.
First thing we said this morning, there was some guys saying, we're going out when it's raining. I said, yes. I said, believe me, we play when it's raining. Think about the McIntosh game last year. And I thought we really came out. This was the best morning practice we've had. Kids got after. We scrimmaged this morning on offense and defense, and I was very pleased with our effort. And we made some mistakes, but our effort was there, and we saw a lot of positive things. And I'm tickled to death about this morning's practice.
How did the kids handle the wet ball?
We did pretty good. We had some fumbles, and those are issues that we got to work on. But overall, we threw the ball this morning as well. So, I thought we did pretty good. But we do have to improve on that. But what a great time, to come out here and work on wet ball with it raining like it was this morning.
How did the line of scrimmage look, and how has it looked so far?
Yeah, offensively, I thought, we did good this morning. I thought that our backs really ran hard and blocked well, and our offensive line's coming around. I thought Eric Hester had a big morning blocking, and defensive line-wise, he's doing a great job. Eric Hester's leading the front on both sides of the ball right now, and Tamon and Jamar really ran the ball well this morning, and we threw and caught pretty good. So I was proud of Chris Mobley and those guys catching the football.
Throwing that wet ball was quarterback James Etheridge.
Oh, we did good. I'm proud of them. Everybody worked hard. It was a nice, cool day to go out and play a little football. And we had some trouble holding on to the ball at first, and then we got used to it and started to run the ball good.
Well, you were around last year. You remember the McIntosh game. I mean, you got to be ready for something like that in case it happens.
Yes, sir. You always got to be prepared. You never know what the weather's going to hold, but that's why it's good to have practice like this so we can be prepared.
Who ran the ball well?
Jamar Smith ran the ball well today, and of course we had good blocking on the line. Jamar and Tamon ran it really well. They ran it hard.
Make some good throws to Chris Mobley?
Yes, sir. The ball was a little wet, but me and Mobley hooked up a few times, and I hooked up with Eric Hester and Jamar a couple times on the flats.
Well, you got some big targets like him, like Hester, but also you got Chris, and he can really get up in the air.
I mean, he can jump. He's an athlete. Me and Chris, we talk all during practice about what we need to do in routes and stuff, and where I need to throw it and where he can get to it. And me and Chris are real good friends, and we talk a lot about that stuff, and we got a pretty good connection.
Yeah, Chris, who'll be a junior this season, has made some nice catches this week, both as a defensive back and as a wide receiver in the rain.
Offensively, I just ran good routes, and the quarterback got the ball to me, and I just made a catch.
Were these leaping catches or on the ground?
Some were leaping, some were on the ground, and it's kind of tough to catch with a wet ball.
Your leaping ability has really shown out, I guess, in practice so far, both offensively and defensively. How does that help you?
Yeah, that's matters a lot because, on a bad ball, I can get to it a lot easier.
On Friday, on Day 5, the Bulldogs worked their number 1 offense and number 2 defense against the reserves. And when the D was out on the field, an end who was doing a good job pursuing was Eric Hester.
We squeeze and make sure the quarterback doesn't keep it for QB sneak, I guess, and we just follow the back.
Seems like you do a good job just reading the play, figuring out what it is and then what you have to do.
Oh, yes, sir. I just do what the coaches tell me and give it my all every play.
You'll pretty much have it down right now for where you are in practice as far as how many days you've been out here?
We're doing good and all, but we can always do better.
When the number 1 offense was out on the field, the Bulldogs cranked up their running game. Jamar Smith scored numerous times, and Tamon Hampton and Gary Terrell also touched the end zone. And that's because the offensive line was doing a good job blocking. The number 1 unit on this day was right tackle Darius Scott, right guard Brandon Douglas, center J.D. Rogers, left guard Brandon Beckham, and here's left tackle Paul Bruton.
I made some blocks where we have to go down, get the linebacker, a lot of down blocks, cutting people off, and just making good holes for the running backs.
And they were taking advantage of it, too. They were scoring.
Yes, sir. The running backs was reading the blocks pretty good, running off the opposite way when I turned my butt, and it was looking pretty good.
How did the offensive line do in that?
The offensive line did pretty good. I don't think we hardly had anybody come through the backfield to stop our running backs.
Brandon Beckham agreed with his next-door neighbor on the offensive line.
I think we was executing our techniques pretty good, just pushing off the defensive lineman and just basically just running pretty hard with them.
A lot of the plays went to the left side. That's your side.
Yes, sir. I mean, we got, the most experience on our side, so we know what to do from last year or whatever. But, the right side's pretty strong. They just got to, just learn their techniques better, and just keep on blocking like we've been doing.
JD, how did the center and the other side of the line do?
It was pretty good. I mean, you just got to keep pushing you guys. That's the best thing we can do. We're the best of the rest, and you just got to get out there and push your teammates to get them to their best ability.
Okay, you played with Brandon. How about Darius?
This will be the first time for Darius, but he's showing real potential. Me and Beckham's been together since middle school, just blood brothers. We just got to get after it this year and introduce Darius into this style.